Hello everybody, welcome to this Verbling class. My name is Teacher Amy and today's class is a speaking class. We are going to do a little bit of reading with a really short article, and then we're going to be talking about the 5 senses and maybe even the 6th sense today. So do come along in and join us. If you would like to practice your speaking, you're very welcome to come along in. It should be an interesting class. We're going to discuss lots of different things about our senses, what we think of them, which one's the most important, the least important, memories that we have that are related to them, how they affect our lives, what we can do about them at work, which is kind of what the article's about. So do come along in if you've booked a slot. And while we're waiting just for everybody to get here, if you're new to Verbling, or perhaps you've recently arrived and you're not exactly sure how it all works, the best place to go is to verbling.com, where you can investigate. If you're interested in finding out more about any of the teachers, then the best thing to do is to go to their Verbling teacher page, and you'll see the link to my teacher page in the chat box. This is where you can find out about a particular teacher, so you can see their schedule, you can check out when their classes are coming up, and when they have private tutoring slots. If you're interested in one-on-one sessions, you can also see a little bit more about who they are, so where they're from, their experience. You can watch their introductory video and also see some class excerpt videos. So good place to go if you haven't been before. If you're a Facebook person, you might also want to check out the Facebook pages of any of the teachers, so I've put mine there too in the chat box for you. Okay, so let's say hello and see who we've got this morning or this evening, wherever you are. And we'll first of all say hello to Ahmed. Hello, Ahmed.
I'm fine, thank you.
Wonderful. Did you have a good week, Ahmed?
Yeah, I have a good week of work.
A good week of work. Excellent. That sounds great. Anything for any reason in particular, or just a generally good week?
No, it's just a good week, and I'm waiting for my holiday.
Yes? Your holiday or the weekend?
Yeah, weekend.
Weekend. All right. So you're not actually going on a longer holiday. You're just looking forward to 2 days off, right?
I hope so.
Yes. Wonderful. Ahmed, do you think that you are a sensitive person? So do you notice lots of things around you using your 5 senses, would you say, or not really?
No,
You're a
and
bit oblivious?
no, and actually I don't believe in that.
You don't believe in the 5 senses? Or you don't believe
No,
in being sensitive?
no, in that understanding of things around you, I don't believe in that.
Ah, okay. All right. Tell me, what's your opinion on it? What do you believe?
I believe on the facts only. Any other things that not depends on facts, I don't believe in it.
Okay. So today's interesting start, Ahmed. Thank you for sharing with us. Today's class we're focusing on the 5 senses. So just before we continue, I just want to mention, because I'm going to be speaking to most of you about this kind of thing, could we just have a mini brainstorm, guys? What are the 5 senses? I'm going to type them in the chat box. What am I talking about? Anyone like to tell me one of them? Or nobody has any ideas?
Taste? No?
Okay, great. Natalie has put vision. So we've got taste from Ksenia. Yep. Sight or vision. Anything else? 3 more to go. No?
Sense of smell, maybe?
Yep. Smell. Hearing. Anna's put. 1 more.
Yes.
Hearing, taste,
We've got taste.
touch, smell,
Touch. Brilliant. Touch. That's the last one I was looking for. Thank
touch,
you, Jose.
smell.
Awesome. We've got all 5 of them. So thanks for sharing, guys. So yes, Agman, I'm coming back to you. So the 5 senses that we are talking about today are the 5 senses of taste, sight, smell, hearing, and touch. Okay, so they're almost like the ways that our body interacts with the world, how we absorb information through what means. So that's sort of our focus today. Some people argue that we have a 6th sense, which we can discuss later on, but we'll be focusing mostly on the 5 senses. So welcome to the class, Agman, and thank you for starting us off with such an interesting little thought.
Thank you.
Oh, right. Anna, how are you today? Are you there, Anna?
Yes, sorry. I'm going, thank you.
Great. You're going?
Yes.
You're going where? You're going
No.
where? You're going well?
No, I'm so.
You're so-so. Not too good, not too bad.
Yes.
All right. Well, I'm sorry to hear that you're so-so, Anna. Is there any particular reason why you're only so-so?
Actually, I'm blue, but I don't want to talk about it. I'm very happy to be in your class. Thank you.
Wonderful. All right. So, Anna, what do you think about your 5 senses? Do you think that you are very aware of them, or that you are not very affected by them?
No, I believe I am affected by them. I am a visual person,
Mm-hmm.
you know. I remember easily things that I saw, and well, I think that it's my most accurate sense.
Okay, so you're a visually, I don't know, focused person, Anna. You feel like your vision is maybe your most sensitive, or the one that you kind of rely on, possibly. Interesting. I think this is an interesting topic, because I feel the same as Anna, that sometimes some of us may have one sense that seems to be a bit stronger, or maybe more influential on us than some of the other ones. But thank you, Anna. Welcome to the class. Lovely to have you. Jose, hello.
Yes, hello, Amy.
How are you? How's your week going?
Yes, it is a normal week. Nothing
Just a normal,
special.
nothing
Yes,
special. And only one
nothing
day to go
special.
until the weekend.
Yes, only one day for the
And
week.
it's Friday, which is like the best day, right? So hopefully
Yes,
tomorrow will be a good day, Jose.
yes. Tomorrow
Brilliant.
I'll have a good day, I think.
I hope so. Tell me about you, Jose. Do you think that you are influenced by your senses?
Yes, I think all of them are very important, because the brain needs to take information about what is going on around you. After that, the brain takes decisions in order to the
Right.
information
So,
that the brain is getting.
yeah.
I think all of them are very important, because are necessary for living.
Mm. Okay, good point. So it's like your senses are your information collectors. You go through life
Yes.
and your brain goes, oh, what's happening? And then you
Okay.
can make decisions about various things.
Yes. I think
Cool.
so.
Awesome. Thank you, Jose. Very interesting. Welcome. Lovely to have you. Julian, how are you today?
Hi, Amy. How are you? Hey.
I'm great, thank you. Did you make a loud ding noise? Was that you
Yes,
entering the
yes.
class? Yes,
Yes,
hello.
yeah,
This is
turn off
brilliant.
a speaker that I have on me. Sorry.
Brilliant. How's your week
Just
going?
when I open the microphone's on. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. I'll know who's talking every time it happens now, because it'll be this ding.
Yes, the
Um,
Murphy laws.
yeah. How are you, Julian? Is your week going okay?
Yes, okay. I have to travel to other city, but good. Now I'm returned to my house
Oh,
and try
great. So
to relax something a
was it
little.
a busy, stressful trip?
Yes, in some cases the work trips are more stressing than that.
Yeah.
The holidays travels.
Well, I think, yeah, it depends on the type of business trip, but often when you're away from home, you don't have your home comforts, so it's like a little bit extra stressful. Are you
Yes,
somewhere new?
and you have to you are busy a lot of day. The signs 6 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Yeah, absolutely. So, well, it's nice to be home. Home for the weekend. Woohoo!
Yes, yes, I agree with you. The Friday is the best day of this week.
All right. So, Julian, what about you? How do you feel your senses impact your life? Are you a very sensitive person?
Oh, yes, in fact, it's very huge because I agreed with Jose. It's the sense allows understand the surroundings and interact with other people and interact with the environment. And but really, in this moment of the humanity, I think the sense is um, forget the people are forgetting the sense because now we depend only the our eyes and the other sense is not unimportant and really to understand and to get a great life we need to develop all of these sense.
Interesting point. Thank you, Julian. Wow, this discussion is going to turn into something I never expected today. So you think that maybe we're a bit too heavily focused on the visual side of things and we need to develop the other senses a little bit more?
Yes.
I happen to think, yeah, I've never thought about that before, but now that you mention it, it does feel as if we are constantly barraged by visual things. So maybe that's a good point. Thank you, Julian. Awesome.
Okay.
Right, Ksenia, hello.
Hello,
How's everything going for you?
everything's fine.
Wonderful. Did you do any nail art over the weekends?
Yes, of course.
This week? Yeah. Great. Okay, so tell us about you and your senses.
I don't know. Yes, I thought about it when the other guys said, but I don't think that I use all this sense in all power. I think I use a little bit all of them, maybe.
Okay, so you don't use them all the time for everything. Which ones do you think influence you the most, Ksenia? Does some have more precedence over others?
For me nowadays it's sight because I think I'm starting to lose my sight.
Mm-hmm.
So I learn a lot, read a lot, and I think my eyes are not so good as they used to be.
Right. So do you have to wear glasses or contact lenses?
Yes, I want, and I don't want because I don't want to wear anything in my glasses or on my glasses or on my eyes, so it's scaring me,
Yeah.
honestly.
All right, so I think that's definitely something that can happen. Our senses can lose efficiency for many reasons. One of the obvious ones, I guess, is as you get older, just repeated use. But usually, hearing loss doesn't really happen until you're quite reasonably on in years. But sight is one of those things that can deteriorate no matter what age you are. Interesting. let's carry on talking. Welcome to the class, Ksenia. Magdalena, hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
I'm great, thank you. I was going to say well and great, then it came into wait. Not a word, by the way. So how's your week been, Magdalena?
So I think I was working mostly, so I'm waiting for the weekend. Yeah.
You're desperate for the weekend to arrive.
Yeah, I want to have this opportunity to sleep longer than usually. So.
Catch up on some sleep. Sounds like a good idea to me, Magdalena.
Okay.
All right, tell us about you. What do you think, how are you influenced by your senses?
I think I have to see something to learn, and that I'm learning by seeing or by using my sight, yeah?
Yeah, a visual learner.
Yeah, but of course I'm trying to develop my hearing right now.
Yes.
Yeah, I think, of course I use all these senses. And I like touching surfaces, yeah.
So touch is something that you're influenced by. You like soft things or interesting things?
Yeah, interesting.
Okay. Does that affect something like maybe what clothes you wear, Magdalena? Do you like the feel of fabric? Is that important to you in clothes?
I don't know. Maybe not really.
Not to do with clothes, but you just like soft surfaces or something that feels stimulating to touch or something like that?
Yeah.
Interesting. I noticed that I think maybe the influence that our senses have on us does change a bit as we sort of go through the ages. Because it seems like children maybe use their senses in a different way. When they're exploring the world, they usually interact a little bit more with it. And maybe as we get older, we start losing the will to touch and taste and do lots of different things because we kind of already know what's out there, maybe. Who knows? Interesting. So you're a visual learner, but touch is something that's important to you too. All right.
Yeah, that's right.
Magdalena.
Thanks.
Welcome. And Natasha, you've changed your picture.
Yes, you're right. Hello, it's good to see you.
Good to see you too. I like your new picture. Not that I didn't like the old one. It's stunning. It must be space. What's happening in that? Is it just a picture you found?
If to be honest, I found this picture by internet, and I was so impressed with them. So I decided to change my profile and use this picture. But I really don't know what is it exactly.
All right. Well, something happening up there, I would say, Natasha.
Yeah, maybe.
So there you go. You found something that you thought was beautiful. So you're maybe a visual person? I don't know. I'm just guessing. What senses influence you the most?
I can't say that I really sensitive person and that I use all these senses on 100%. I have bad visual since my childhood, so I really couldn't use my eyes on 100%. So it's changed me absolutely, and maybe I obtain more information through hearing this other kind of sense. I mean, but I have read that as a rule, people liked and they body use. Use information for their behavior and for their daily life from their vision as a rule, and it's about 80 percent, and only to 20% of information they gained from other kinds of senses.
Wow, is that true? So there you go, Julian. You were absolutely right. Officially, Natasha says she's read something about it. So that's really interesting. But you say, Natasha, that maybe the visual sense is not your strongest.
Yes, yes, absolutely true.
Okay. This, I think, comes in handy, especially when you're trying to learn something like a language, because I find that if you know your strengths with regard to how well you absorb information, then it's a good technique to try to focus on that when you're trying to learn something new. So, for example, I think I would say I was a visual learner or a visual person. So if I read, I tend to learn a lot more than if I just have to listen to something. And even when I am trying to practice my listening, I find, for example, if you listen to something in another language and read it at the same time, I gain a lot more from it because I'm absorbing, like connecting the sounds with what I'm seeing. Especially with other languages, I can connect. When I try to think of a word, it's like I almost have a picture of the word. So it's an interesting topic. We'll get back to that soon. Before we start reading the article, I just have one more question for you, and this is for anybody to answer. The article is called Great Work Engages All Five Senses, and it talks a little bit about art, but we all have different jobs here. What do you think would be the most important sense in your particular job? Is there one important sense, or is there a possibility to use more than one sense in your job? And would you like to tell us a little bit about it? So, is anyone interested in answering that one?
Yeah, can I try?
Sure, go ahead, Julian.
Okay. For me, my job, the most important sense, it's the hearing.
Hearing, yeah.
Hearing, yes. The sense is hearing. All right?
Yes,
Right.
the sense of hearing, yeah.
The hearing, because I hear the other people and propose a solution for these people, and because it's the most important. And later the seeing, because when I see the problem, I see the inside in the classroom, and inside they see the trouble with the students and the other people. I need to understand by my eyes where is the trouble with the problem with these people.
Absolutely, Julian. Really, really good point. I think if you think about it, what's your job, Julian? Are you a teacher?
Yes, I'm a teacher, but
okay.
I work. Okay.
And yeah, carry on.
No, I work a big government institute here in Colombia. It's a technical institute.
All right. So a really good point that you feel, in order to best help your students, you need to listen and hear what they're saying, so you can understand the problem before you try to propose any kind of solution or help them. I'm sure that this is probably a key aspect to many jobs, not just teaching. Anyone else like to mention something about their work? No?
Well,
all right.
Yes, can I?
Sure, go ahead.
Sorry. Okay, I would like to support Julian because my job connect with people as well. I mean students. So I have to use my visual senses because I must to to look at them and look at other things which links with my job. I mean with investigations. But also I have to use my hearing senses as well because I ought to hear my pupils, their speed, their thought, and only when we use these senses we can change our mind. We can give one another our knowledge and skills, and only in this case we can reach our goals.
All right, thank you, Natasha. Lovely explanation.
Thank you.
So thank you, Julian and Natasha. As we're reading the article, I just want the rest of you just to think how maybe this applies or doesn't apply to your job. Is it important or not? Maybe you can expand the way that you see your job. So let's check out the article. If you'd like to load it up, the link's there for you. If not, just follow along with me. We'll get Ahmed. Ahmed, could you read the title for us, please?
Okay. Great work engages all 5 senses.
Thank you. And the first paragraph, if.
Okay, if you want to heighten the experience of your work, you need to appeal to more than just one of the 5 senses. Without realizing it, we tend to only cater to one of our senses in our work. For example, a designer or web developer who focus on sight, abstract visual artist Devon Suoi explains how incorporation, even just one more sensation, can change the overall experience.
Brilliant. Thank you, Ahmed. Just a couple of words. So don't forget, with the plural, we have 2 syllables. This is senses. Senses.
Okay, senses.
Great. This one is cater.
Cater.
And last one, I can highlight that? Yep, there we go. Incorporating.
Incorporating.
Brilliant. Anyone have any questions?
Yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Julian.
No, Ahmed, come on, ask, and you later.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm asking about cater to.
Cater to. Cater to.
Cater to.
Okay. What does cater to mean? Anyone know?
Maybe use something, confuse.
Yes, it's not far off from use. We use this in other senses. Haha, sorry, bad pun. We can cater to, for example, an audience. You might say, oh, what audience does your business cater to? Or perhaps, what age group does your program cater to? So to cater to means to direct your focus towards a particular group of people. It means that you are set up to serve the needs of one particular group over another. So in this sense, we as a person in our jobs are usually focusing or setting ourselves up to focus on just one of our senses. Okay? Anyone else have any questions? Okay, wonderful. Jose, could you read My Sister-in-Law, please?
Okay. My sister-in-law, Faye Harnett, is an author, poet, and braille transcriber. She always had this idea to incorporate braille in a visual way, with paintings and textures. She'll punch her poem in a braille machine on acetate, and from there we will attach it to the canvas. Then there is a lot of paint layering over top and incorporating the edge so it doesn't look like it's taped on. We want people to come and explore the painting by touch because you don't ever really get to do that.
Brilliant, thank you. This word here is author, an author.
Author.
Yeah.
An author. Author.
So, any questions about this little section?
Acetate and canvas.
Okay, so they're to do with artwork, Anna. Does anyone know what acetate is? No? It's a special kind of material. It's basically just a kind of material. I'm not exactly sure what it looks like, but I'm pretty sure that it's like a smooth material. I might be wrong. Check that out in the dictionary, or maybe do a Google search if you want to see what it looks like, but it's definitely a type of material. And canvas. Does anyone know what a canvas is?
It's type of material.
Yes. Can you be more specific, Ksenia? What kind of material, or what's it used for?
Usually painters, to paint the picture, they use
Yes.
canvas.
Exactly. So although it's technically a material, as Ksenia says, and it's usually used for painting, specifically oil painting, I think, as well, we do also use this word in a more metaphorical sense, like your canvas is the blank page that you have to decorate, or the if you have a blank canvas, it means that you can do whatever you like. You're in charge. You're the artist in a kind of metaphorical sense. Any other questions? No? Okay. Magdalena, could you please read by engaging?
By engaging the sense of touch along with sight, sew and harnessed, are able to enhance the overall artwork experience for both themselves and the audience. Besides visually taking in the dynamic colors and composition, the artwork takes one way the audience experiences the world around them and integrates it into another, heightening the senses.
Brilliant. Beautiful reading. Thank you. Any questions?
Yes, I have one. And final, the paragraph. The heightening the sense. It's like
Good
enhance.
Yes, exactly. It's exactly like enhance. Increasing, making it more impactful or bigger in some way. Yeah. Any other questions? Okay. Anna, could you read Industrial Designer for us, please?
Industrial designer Jean Chapely started evaluating his life experiences based on senses by creating a graph a graph with a scale from 1 to 10 along the vertical axis and the 5 senses along the horizontal. Every time he had a memorable experience, he recorded it like a 5 senses diary. He found that the best experiences engaged more senses on a higher level than others easily forgotten. Once he was aware of what made for the best experiences, he began appealing to more senses within his design work. Lee challenges us to incorporate as many senses as possible to make any experience more memorable.
Thank you, Anna. Just this word here. This is just two syllables. Engaged.
Engaged.
Yeah, that's better. Well done. Perfect. Any questions from this section? Everyone okay? Brilliant. Okay, not far to go. Who else do we have? Natasha. Now in the middle.
Okay. Now, in the middle of all these five senses work, I suddenly remembered the solar-powered clocks project from my youth. And I realized this theory also explains why Chris' clock is too much better than mine. You see, my clock only focuses on sight and a little bit of touch. Here is Chris' clock. It's the first clock ever that uses smell to tell the time. In fact, in terms of the five senses, Christ clock is a revolution. And
Thank you,
that's
Natasha.
what this.
We'll
It's
just
okay?
pause there. Yeah, just pause there for a sec.
Okay.
When you have a name which ends in S, it's a little bit confusing because it's difficult to know what to do, right? We only have an apostrophe at the end, but when you're reading, you still need to pronounce the extra syllable. So you would say Chris's clock, okay?
Oh, okay. Chris's clock.
Yeah. The same as a very famous person, Jesus. You would say Jesus's disciples, or maybe James's wife. Who knows? So, apart from that beautiful reading, thank you, Natalia. Let's just
Thank
check
you.
that everybody follows. Any questions? No? Okay, so let's ask Ksenia if you could read the following paragraph. And that's...
And that's what this theory taught me about my field. You see, up till now, as designers, we've mainly focused on making things look very pretty and a little bit of touch. Which means we've ignored the other three senses. Chris's clock shows us that even raising just one of those other senses can make for a brilliant product.
Thank you, Ksenia. Beautiful. Any questions?
Oh,
Okay. And the last paragraph must be for Julian, I think.
Of course, not every line of work will be able to add extra sense to a project, or at least, not without having to really sit and think outside of the box, which in itself is the whole point, to expand your thinking about what's involved in your work. Perfect experience engage all the senses, so why focus on only one? See what the other sense you could pull in? It could be what turns a good project into an unexpected great one.
Brilliant. Thank you, Julian. Any questions about the last little paragraph? Okay. Right, so after we've read that, would anyone else like to comment on the issue of your senses in your work? So obviously, we've focused a lot on the art world in that particular article, but I think this applies to all of us, and maybe when you're creating something it applies, but also in different areas. So is there anyone who'd like to comment?
Yes, I think it's important when a designer designs a product that design the product thinking about all of the sense.
And are you
Not only thinking about the one sense or two sense.
Yeah, senses.
It's better. The product will be more senses. The product will be more useful if the designer is thinking about all of senses.
Exactly right.
The
Yeah,
design
for
of the
sure.
product. Yes.
Maybe it will also appeal to a wider audience, Jose, because if you think about Magdalena, she likes touch, and Natasha's kind of focused on hearing. So if your product can somehow connect with their worlds as well as, say, maybe, I can't remember, Ksenia, did you say that you were a visual person, or maybe some of our visual people? You can touch more people with your product, Jose. Who knows? Anyone else like to make a comment on the job aspect?
Yes, I agree with the lecturer, because in my case, when I try to teaching, the people bored into class when I use only the Blackboard or only a video. But when you put into the classroom a video, an issue to touch, and you talk and you talk about the issue, and you make the people go to the Blackboard and write. The learning process, it's more effective, and it's more fast for the people, and the people concentrate into the class. If you make you use only, I don't know, maybe a video, and then you propose a talk about the video, the 50% of people don't understand, or maybe repeat, or try to repeat the opinion of the other people. But when you immerse different sense, it's more productive, the exercise.
Absolutely. Julian, that's a really good point, and it leads me on to my next little point, which is linking senses with your memory. So you've just been talking about learning and engaging people more, and I think that's absolutely true as a teacher as well. One of the interesting things about online teaching is that you're kind of almost cut off from some of those things, so you have to work to make up for that. But my next question is, if you think about the most impactful memories that you have, maybe good or bad, or just ones that really stick in your mind, that are very vivid, that you can really remember in detail, do you think that your senses play a role? And if they do, which of the senses are most important for you in your memories? So I don't know whether any of you have ever had the experience of hearing a song on the radio and suddenly remembering something, being taken back to a moment when something happened in your life and that song was around and it reminds you of a person or a particular situation. Maybe a smell does that for you as well, some kind of a special perfume, or the smell of a particular food. Or does anyone want to share anything about memories?
Yes, I can. In my, I don't know how to say this age, it's about 20, when I was 20.
Yeah, early 20.
Yes, only 20. I used a perfume, Clinique Happy, for one summer. And it was great summer, actually. I met my husband and others pleasant thing. And when I smell this, but I don't use this kind of perfume anymore. And when I smell this perfume on someone, yes, I remember the pleasant feelings and this cool summer. Yes, it's work.
Awesome. That's great that it was a happy memory, Ksenia. So every time you smell the perfume, then you remember meeting your husband. That's awesome. Well done. Good planning on the perfume front. Anyone else have any memories to share?
Oh, can I try again?
Yes, of course.
Yes, here in Colombia exists a supermarket chain, and it's called Carulla. And when you go there, the market is small all the time. Bakery, like bakery, and bakery. Thank you. And that makes only when you go in, you thing, and the first thing it's the bakery.
Yeah,
It's
the bakery.
I can remember. I don't remember the breakfast. I remember the moments with your family, and it's very impressive because the bakery it's full all the time.
There you go. That is an advantage that bakeries have, Julian. And you're right. It's almost like a selling technique. I don't know whether you have a shop. I think it's an Australian shop, so maybe not. But there's a shop called Peter Alexander, which sells like pajamas and sleepwear. And it always has a really, really strong vanilla smell. They like spray things and light candles and stuff. So when you walk past that shop in the mall, or even if you're outside, you can smell it, and it's really distinctive. I don't know whether that really makes people buy more or not. But anyone else like to have any memory sharing moments with different senses?
Yes, I can, but my specific memory connects with songs or music, because when I had the opportunity to listen to something definite music, I always remember something situations with which was were happened with me in previous my life. For example, when I hear the ABBA, I always remembered the my student winter and my room in dormitory where I sit in with my friends and we learning our medical subjects. It was really great memories because it was really a fun and lovely time. Or when I listen Scorpions, I always remembered my first love and our romantic evenings where we dancing and listen this music. And I want to add a story about my previous English teacher. She always taught me and other students that, for example, when we try to learn something new English words, it's a really very good technique. For example, song them, because in this case we not only use visual memory, but also other active memory, hearing, and we sing, and it's temp, and I want to say that it's really help us.
Brilliant. Thank you, Natasha. So there you go. Songs are a really good way of learning. Not just if you're in primary school, right, Natasha? Because I'm a big fan of songs as well.
No, I don't know. My first teacher always said us that we have to do our did our homeworks, listening something music or radio, because in this case we improved our concentration.
All right. That's a really good lead on to my next point, Natasha, which is the following. Do you ever find that you are irritated or disturbed by your senses? Does one of your senses drive you crazy in certain situations? Like, do you find, for example, does music help you to concentrate, or does it make it impossible to concentrate? I'm going to see what Ahmed has to say about this one. We haven't heard from you, Ahmed. Do you get irritated or annoyed by any of your senses? Are you there, Ahmed? Oh, and he's gone. All right, I'll ask Anna.
It depends on the genre of the music and what I'm going to do. If I have to keep a focus on something, relaxing music can help me to concentrate better. If I'm going to work out, an upbeat song can give me a burst of energy. But if I'm trying to keep my focus on something and there is a very edgy music playing somewhere or a very loud music, I cannot see. And it disrupts me a lot.
Hmm.
But I really try to close my senses. Can I say something like that?
Shut off. To shut off your senses.
Yes, just shut off my senses when I really have to keep it focused on something. And most of the time I can do that.
Interesting. Okay, so it depends on situation as to how music affects you, but also the type of music. And you're good at shutting off your senses if you need to concentrate. Okay, Jose, what do you have to say about this? Is there any kind of situation where your senses annoy you?
Yes. When I stay at home relaxed, I annoy me. I annoy to me. Listen the music so much loud, or I prefer to listen classic music because if I hearing pop music, I can't concentrate about
All right.
the work that I am doing. In another hand, when I go to do running, I prefer to listen pop music because I feel more excited. I feel better doing exercise when I listen pop music.
Absolutely. Listen to pop music, Jose.
Yes.
All right. Excellent. All right. So the last question for the class today, it's been a very interesting one, actually. Given me lots of ideas about things. If you had to choose one of your senses that you had to lose, so, for example, you had to go blind, or you lost your taste buds, so you couldn't taste anything. Or you lost your hearing. Which one would you choose? Which is the one that you would give up over all the others?
In my case, I prefer to lose the touch.
Touch. All right. Why did you choose
The touch, because
Yep.
because I think it is the less important sense for living.
For living. Okay. Thank you for starting us off with that one, Jose. I'm going to go straight to Magdalena to see what she says, because she mentioned that she actually enjoys touch before. What would you choose, Magdalena?
So it's a difficult question, I would say. It's difficult to choose, but I think maybe hearing, because without hearing I can still see things and still reading.
Yep, still read?
Read, yeah. So maybe this one.
All right. So you would choose hearing, and you definitely keep your sense of touch, Magdalena.
Yeah.
Okay. So that means I've got to go to Natasha, because Natasha values her hearing. Natasha, which one would you choose to lose?
Well, I would like to lose hearing because I know that these people, I mean, without hearing skills, they have their own culture, they have their own language, and I know that they're happy. But people without, but blind people really. I can't imagine how they live in our world because it's I mean that they can't see and obtain the most important information which surround us in our real life.
Okay, good point.
And also, yes, and also without touching, I suppose that it's really dangerous for us because in this case we can't feel hot and cold, and in the end we can obtain really dangerous injuries.
Good point. That's a very valid point, Natasha. And I do believe that there are people who are born very rare, but with some kind of disease that stops them from feeling pain, and they face millions of problems. It's something that you know we don't really like. It is actually extremely important. So, interesting point. Okay. So, Anna, what would you choose to lose?
Well, when I was listening to José, I thought exactly what you said and Natasha said. You know, it would be very dangerous to live without the touch, touch,
Mhm.
touch. If I had to choose one sense to live without, I would choose taste. It would be awful to not be allowed to taste chocolate anymore. However, I can see some upsides, you know, because I would choose just very nutritious food, and it would be easier to be in an awesome shape.
Nice choice, Anna. All right. Julian, how about you?
Really, it's a hard question, but I will choose set off the smell because now I don't depend a lot of them, and maybe like the other, maybe I can I like so much the cooking and brew of different dishes, and it's impossible to think don't have a taste blind, and it's hard for because we depend 90% of the site. And touch it's no because it's really great have a touch and sometimes exciting and oh I forget the other one and the hearing now because it's very important for my job. I need to leave.
Yeah,
And so
definitely.
I prefer to shut down the smell sense.
I like it. So it's the lesser of five evils, or I don't know, the best of a bad bunch or something, Julian. Even though you'd hate to lose one, probably smell is the least that you'd worry about. Okay.
Yes.
Last but not least, Ksenia, which would you choose?
I'm going to say taste, but actually I'm in love with food, so I don't want. I think touch,
Yeah.
as Jose said, for me it's the one of useless
All right.
sense. I
So
don't
you
like
don't.
to touch anything.
You don't like to touch it. Okay, great. Isn't it interesting that all of you have chosen different ones, actually? We didn't all agree that, yeah, one of these is definitely one that's not so valuable. So, let yourself be inspired. How can you improve your life or your job or maybe other areas by expanding your senses? I'm going to think about it for the rest of the day, I think. If you'd like to join me in another class, next we're going to be doing some writing. So if you want some writing practice, come along and join us. If not, have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you next week. Take care, guys. Bye.
Goodbye,
Thank
Amy.
you.
Take
Bye.
care.
Bye.
Thank you.